growing with them. So today I'm gonna share with you the 5 mistakes people make when they're learning English. And what I mean by mistake is that it's something that keep them holding them back from making a progress in developing in English faster. So let's go. Okay, the first secret is deep down in the brain they have their limited belief about English. And this belief probably caused by their bad event in the past. For example, I was so bad in English before I was 11. Like I didn't learn much. And now that I went back to that time, I realized that when I was in grade 9, I did like my teacher, my English teacher. She said something bad about me, like she thought I was being talkative in class, and I didn't do it. So I really felt bad about her. And unconsciously, that how my brain linked English. It was linked with pain or negativity or hate. I didn't like it. And obviously, when you dislike something, the high chances that you're not going to do well in it. And I started talk of more people who like whose English got a problem, and I realized that there was this problem. There was maybe one event in the past that really hurt that feeling, and someone might involve. It can be an authority, a teacher, or sometimes friends. I don't know if in your country it's like in my country, but if you're young and your English was like start to like get good, like for example you start to pick up the accent, and we would have a saying like, oh, you're fake, like you need to be fake to be good in English. And obviously, okay, if I say the word fake, obviously for most of it is negative. So nobody want to be fake, and for some people, unfortunately, because they don't want to be fake, so they never like make a progress in English. So okay, we're gonna go through a little bit of exercise here. If I say the word English, what are the third words that come up in your mind, pop up? You don't need to think, it's gonna pop up. That is when your unconscious mind is doing the same for you. So please write down those words that pop up without you thinking about it. First 3 words or whatever. And please leave the comment below. Okay, so some people, for me, it's so easy. English equal to traveling to friends, and traveling equal to happiness to me. So it's a positive, and that's why I have no problem developing my English. For some people, a lot of time, for those who struggle to improve their English equal to pain. Maybe English equal to being laughed at, something like that. So what are yours? Write down for me and leave a comment. So if you got your answer now, if it's positive, great, excellent, congratulations, you're on your way. But if it's negative, don't worry. Congratulations, you have good news here, is that you can change it because now you're aware of it. So you can make a decision by your own yourself without any influence of other. That you gotta make a commitment to be excellent in English. And how do you do that? So what I do is it's just personal technique. You can adapt it your way. I have a self-talk, a positive self-talk. And for example, I would say to myself like, oh, I learn English every day and it's so easy. English is easy. For example, if the first word that you got was difficult, then you can say English is easy. I can learn English easily and effortlessly. I understand it easily. If I don't get it now, later I'm gonna get it. For something like that, maybe a brief sentence like, I love English, something like that. Because whatever, if you give love to it, you can do it for sure. Because it's very, I think it's one of those highest feeling you could give and send out, love, I mean. So yeah, so try to have a positive self-talk about English to yourself. And the question is, probably what you experience is that the past gonna come up and then you will say, no, you're lying, you're so shit in English. Just silent it. Or you can challenge it. For example, if like that thought, the inner voice just come and say, and it's so noisy that, oh, you're so shit in English, you will never be able to do it, something like that. Just go and do something, learn one English word and say it out loud. That's the way to challenge your mind. And it's the past, okay? Your mind doesn't want to do you any harm, But because in the past, English equals to pain, so your mind was just trying to protect you. That's why it sent those in a way up. But just ignore it. Just say thank you. Or maybe you say thank you for sharing, and then you move on. You create yourself, you replace it with the positive thoughts about English. So okay, first thing is that the first mistake was they have negative link or limited belief about English in their brain. The second mistake the people have and holding them back was that they want to be a one-man show. I can do it alone, I'm so good. And a lot of time that how we have been taught. Think about it. No, you should do it by yourself, or you shouldn't ask for help. Like, what's wrong with asking for help? I don't mean like asking for help anytime, but if we did our best and we cannot do it, chances that maybe we don't know it and there is someone else out there that know it, then we ask it for advice or for help, and then we learn something new as well. Actually, it really takes courage to asking for help, because nobody want to seem vulnerable, want to seem weak. That's why we keep like pretending that we are so strong, right? But English is the same. You don't know it? Okay, go to Google, and if you still don't get it, there was some time I searched for word on Google and I still don't get it. Then I just ask someone else. Any friends who are native speaker, I would ask them, because if I ask, I'm stupid once. But if I don't ask and keep it, stupid for the rest of my life. That how I see it. So don't try to do it alone. And a lot of time, think about it. For example, because this is New Year, right? So a lot of people, they have the New Year resolution to lose their weight, but they do it alone. And what happens when you do things alone is that when the bad emotion come, you feel overwhelmed, then you just, it's enough, I quit. That's what happened. But if you have a team, let's say, okay, I'm gonna go to run every Sunday morning with a group of friends. Then if you're not there, you know what's gonna happen. You know it. Your friend gonna call, hey, where are you? Why don't you come? Come on, just get up. Da 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 da. And chances are you have higher chance to make it happen. You have higher chance when you have a team. When you have people, it's like we holding each other accountable. You have someone to say push you. When you're weak, you have someone to push you. When the other person are weak, you push them. So this is a power of teamwork. The second mistake is trying to do it alone. Surely maybe you can go fast with doing it alone, but if you want to go big, do it with someone else. The third mistake people would make was staying in the same environment. Let me give you some example. Let's say you want to be a manager, and now let's say you're a junior. If you want to be a manager, first thing, you need to know what being a manager is like, what are their responsibility, how to manage, and further than that, what is the secret behind successful manager, right? And if you want to be a successful manager, you should spend time and learn from them, observe them, whatever. You need to change your environment. You can't just stay in the same old group. You can still hang out with the same old group, don't get me wrong, but you need to create some time for the new thing to happen in your life too. That is a great thing that you should do. It's just so simple, but we often forgot it. For example, if I want to be good in English, think about it. If in the past I wanted to be good in English, but I didn't put any effort, never started to watch anything in English, never listened to any English song, would I be able to be able to speak English like today? Probably not. I probably just speak some Thai. Like today is the other way around because I'm a translator and interpreter, and I need to brush up some Thai sentence structure. So now I'm kind of go back, to Thai, to read more Thai, for speaking is not a problem for me, but to read and the way I write, I need to go back to read more Thai books. That's how I do it. Yes, it's uncomfortable sometimes because I think in the past 10 years, normally I would surround myself in English environment. That's how I speed up my English learning skills. Because there was a time, when I hit the bottom, and I knew that if I couldn't improve, I would get kicked out of my university. So that's why I started surrounding myself in English. Because previously, before I went to that university, everything in my life was taught in Thai. I was from the Thai school. And then, okay, I knew at that time that it's a sink or swim situation. And I chose. And I always say chose. I chose to swim. It was hard. It was not like, ooh, I enjoy it all the time. Something is struggle is boring. It was very boring, but because I knew why I'm doing it, why I was doing it, so I did it anyway. And again, so starting from something small, surrounding yourself, if you have the money and you can go abroad and study English in the different country, that is one way to get a hand-on experience. But if you don't have money, now it's just so convenient more than ever. You have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have podcasts, whatever, anywhere you are, you can listening to English, and you slowly integrate it, put it into your life. Maybe you will start finding something you're interested in, and you start from there. Maybe you started from a children's book. Maybe you're starting from listening to Maroon 5 or what, Ed Sheeran. Anything, right? Easy, easy. Small step first. Small step first. And in the end, you can achieve your big goal. So the third mistake is that staying in the same environment. Because as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting the different result, right? So it's not happening. So change a little bit, and it will be uncomfortable at first. But if you know why you're doing it, it's worth the effort. The first mistake the people made was I think this is linked with number one, okay? They never imagined themselves being able to do it. And a lot of time, we need to be able to imagine it first before it happening. Think about it, a lot of invention in this whole world, like the machine. Have you ever thought like how the first car happened? It probably, like at first we were using what, a carriage, a horse carriage. And if nobody thought about the car, if nobody had that picture in mind, we wouldn't have car to be used today, right? A light bulb like Edison. If he couldn't think it, if he couldn't see it in his head, in his imagination, how would we get the light bulb we have today? So everything happened from here. So I have the question that I would like you to ask to check, first, what will you see if you're fluent in English? Second, what will you hear when you're fluent in English? Third, how will you feel when you are fluent in English? Fourth, how will you act? How would other people interact with you? You have to see it that clear. And that's it gonna happen. And some people think, okay, they will do it, but sometimes without imagining it. I think imagination for me, like in this case, is like a reminding of why you're doing it, why you need to do it, and how would you feel. And then it's kind of, when you feel like that, it sends something to your brain, and you start to act in alignment with that, with the goal that you want to achieve. And the last one was the last mistake. This is really huge. Waiting it to be perfect or afraid to make mistakes. It's not gonna happen. Like today, my English is not 100% grammatically correct, but I use it anyway. Because if I don't get it out, what do you think what's gonna happen? If I say, oh, let's wait until I can speak everything perfectly, chances is I will never be able to speak because it will never be perfect. I would be, and that again is the fear that come from your mind. Oh, what about they're gonna say? Oh, come on, some people gonna laugh at you if you say it wrong. No, I'm saying if you meeting, I call them jackass person who laugh at you when you make mistake, smile to them. That person is just, I don't know, it's helpless. Like we make mistake, we're human, it's common. Yeah, I make mistakes, so I know and learn from it. Mainly it's our ego that protecting us from doing that, because say, oh, someone gonna laugh at us, so what? Thing even today in English, I don't know everything. If you're an engineer, and you talk to me, I will have tons of vocabularies that I don't know yet. And I say I don't know yet because I know that if I go out there and search it, I can learn about it. And that's all the fifth mistake. So let's recap it for today. The first mistake that you could make, that hinder your English progress is you having a limited belief. You linking English with something negative. And the way to change it is the way you start to say something, replace that negative thought with something positive, okay? The second mistake was that you're doing it all alone, being a one-man, being a Superman show. Find a team, okay? we help each other. In that way, we help each other. It can be here, okay, or it can be somewhere on the page, on Facebook page, on the mastermind group, whatever. Do it with someone else. You will grow faster and you will grow together. And it's rewarding when you are, think about it like this, like when you climb the mountain. If you go alone, yeah, that's great, it's great. But if you go with someone, it's like, you have someone that you want to share your success with. It's another level. Third is that you stay in the same environment. So my from my experience, you just start doing something bit by bit. It doesn't have to be dramatic or big. Small thing. Children book, easy book. Level 1 is okay. Beginner. We start where we start. And don't ever compare your day one to someone, like who has done it for 20 years. It's different. You don't know their day one. Maybe it's worse than yours, right? And the fourth mistake that people made was that they never imagined themselves. They didn't truly believe, actually. It's like they couldn't imagine themselves being able to speak English, to communicate in English. And the fifth one was that they're waiting for a perfect moment, which doesn't exist. Okay, so that is my sharing for today, guys. Leave the comment below and please click subscribe and ring a bell so when the new video comes, you can see. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about the different style of learning English so you can adopt and create your own formula in learning English and grow your way, okay? Anyway, just keep growing. So let's grow together and see you in the next episode. Bye!